Namaste, good evening, a warm welcome to all the participants of yet another episode of Sahaj Samwad with Sadhu Shri. I'm Rupali, the host, and we have a very special guest with us today. And this guest, if I have to talk about, is a very special person. He's called as Shay, and he is a person who's very compassionate, and he's a compassionate meditation teacher, a yogi, renunciate, community health professional, and a messenger of love. So let's hear it from Shay, all the way from, over the seas. He has joined us today for this program of Sahaj Samwad with Sadhu Shri, and he's going to give his thoughts and views as to how he's been spreading love and peace across the globe. So thank you very much and welcome, Shay, on this talk show with Sahaj Samwad with Sadhu Shri with us. Over to you, and please introduce yourself and let us know what is your mission and give us throw some light on exactly what you do. Thank you.
Hariom, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sadhu, for inviting me here. It is an absolute joy and pleasure to meet brothers and sisters across the ocean. And as Earthian, as we are now learning about this word, I do feel very in line with that mindset. Although I've been born in the United States, I consider myself a citizen of the globe. So every human being, in fact, every life itself is my family, including trees and grass and bugs and people that we like, people that we are challenged with. So I would say, in short, my process of awakening in the heart, and for me, I think for me, the awakening has been here. It came from many challenges and struggles in life. Although I do live in a country that is considered very affluent, very wealthy. Among those citizens, I am not that. I'm not the wealthy. I mean, everything comes to me. I've not starved to death. Everything has been provided, so there's no material need at this time. But in the past, there were many struggles, starting with early childhood. And I'll be brief, but the beginning of my challenges is that my biological parents were drug addicts. They are clean now. In fact, my mother's got clean, and I'll get back to her in a few minutes. So I was adopted, and later in life, I was able to reunite with my biological parents. And each time I would witness in my own life suffering, I felt there was a choice presented to me to either embody the suffering and express it back to the world, or to see that I would not want this suffering done to another person or another being. So for me, the suffering has been a blessing and a way for awakening in the heart to transcend attachment to expectation, attachment to being focused on pleasure seeking or avoiding pain. And that, again, is the blessing of trials, is that you have an opportunity, you have a choice. There was a famous man that was in the Nazi concentration camps of Nazi Germany, Viktor Frankl, Dr. Viktor Frankl. And he said that, and he learned this as well, he said that in every moment that you have a stimulus that either invites you to hatred or love, within that moment, there's a space that gives you the choice. And so practice and the spiritual path is what presents us this space to choose to respond with hatred or with love. So just to speed up a little, early in life, we just didn't have much money. But we had a loving family. And when my mother became clean and she moved into the house that I was living, and so we at 11 years old. Then I reconnected with my mother and my youngest brother, Anthony. And over that time, from the 11 to adulthood, other challenges and injustices. There, ironically, in such a wealthy country, if you don't have wealth, you don't have the same rights as other people, particularly with school and education. I didn't allow that to stop me. The library is free, reading is free. And so instead of me waiting for college, waiting for all these great teachers that the wealthy had more access to, I went to the library and I kept reading and reading and reading. And that's where I became across the works of Swami Shivananda. That introduced me to authentic practice of yoga, of meditation, of the yamas, the niyamas, and the full path of yoga. Later on, as I continued to deepen my practice, I was blessed with some small windfall of money, and I wanted to go to yoga school, but I didn't know where to go. So I prayed about it, and in a dream, Swami Satchidananda said, "Well, come to my school." So he had already left the body at that time, so I went to a traditional ashram and took that traditional initiation and practiced the process of being a yogi. I was a married man at that time, and I actually have 4 children. They're adults, so I'm actually 48. Their body is 48, but we are all timeless, of course. Then, through some experiences of homelessness, even after achieving some success as a yoga teacher, even teaching at NASA, I was very successful. And then Hurricane Katrina took away that wealth and that affluence. So I found that things kind of go up and down in this cycle, and whether I'm at the top of the cycle or the bottom of the cycle of money or food or a home, it's still a choice. So it was through this homelessness that I got even deeper into the practice of cultivating compassion, and that's when I became aware of the neuroscience of compassion meditation. This was very encouraging because in America, and I think globally, science sometimes serves as this universal bridge where we may have different cultures, different belief systems, different religions, but although science is not perfect, anyone that studies science knows this. People that do not study science believe that it's perfect, I think, but there's many faults in science. However, it's a universal language that we can measure and use that language to convey a simple idea. And so that was exceptionally encouraging, that compassion cultivation practices and meditation practices and pranayama have an absolute, not just a physiological effect on the body, but it has a behavioral effect. So when you practice these ancient arts discovered by the masters of many cultures, whether it's Native American or East Indian, that you actually will have behavioral change. Finding this out, I delved deeper into specific practices with compassion itself. And then within 5 years of this very focused practice, I received my greatest opportunity to expand. And it was truly the final piece of awakening. And it reminds me of a story when I see statues of Ganesh and I see the one tusk is missing and one tusk is there. I was curious on why is that? When I looked into it and discovered that there are, of course, a couple of stories on why the tusk was broken. But for me, the metaphor was that life and living your path requires sacrifice, and that you can't truly live a path of faith and be unscarred, at least in my experience. So I use that metaphor to say the next storyline is that the story I'm about to share was finally my broken tusk. that's what needed to happen. I needed this transformation. It may have been cracked from experiences in the past, but it wasn't broken. But once it was broken, then it opened up a wellspring of love, a wellspring of joy and peace. And so the story that I would like to share that did finally break this tusk is that my brother, I have two little brothers. I'm the oldest in the family. And so my middle brother and I were working in the west coast of America, very far away from my mother and my youngest brother. And then we received a phone call, and it was such a drastic story that I didn't know if it was real or not. So I chose to stay calm and just practice my breathing until I found out the truth. So during a home robbery, um, two people had broken into the home where I grew up and where my mother was at the time. Um, when the robbers encountered my mother, they killed her, and in a very, very violent way, with a knife. So it's, and I do apologize for saying anything disturbing. I do not intend to garner any, please, no sympathy. I want compassion, not sympathy. And then the robbers then shot my brother in the back as well. So there, my mother and my youngest brother dying in a very violent way, and just because of the suffering of the robbers. And that's where the truth is revealed, is that my mother and my brother had beautiful lives. We were a simple family. We deeply loved each other. We had so much laughter together, so much memories together. And even since then, I would like to share that I see them in dreams. They are beautiful, radiant, just it's most beautiful I've ever seen them, ever. Their suffering at that moment is short, but the suffering of the robbers, what events in life would it take for anyone, whether it's me or you or someone you know, what events in life would it require to make you suffer so much that you're willing to take the life of another human being just for money or just for, and in fact, the irony is the robbers didn't take anything because there was nothing of value in the house. The TVs were old, no computers. There wasn't, so they didn't even get anything. They were caught 10 days later. And when I can't see them yet because the trial hasn't finished. When the trial is over, I will meet them in prison and tell them that I love them, that I'm their brother, and that I forgive them. And that
Wow,
is,
so mindful of you.
thank you, Sadhu. And I would like to maybe share some insights about what that means too, is forgiveness. Because I've actually lost friends and family because of my decisions, because they see it differently. And my viewpoint is so radical that it's just too much. They think I'm either a crazy person or I'm a liar, but they can't handle it, so they have to leave. Um, but forgiveness is not permission. And forgiveness doesn't mean that you are okay or you're giving permission for those actions. It just means that I choose to not let your actions drown me in hate. I choose to keep my
Yes.
Absolutely.
heart open, and I
Yes.
choose to open and be someone that can transform this moment.
Hmm.
I'm reminded of one of Buddha's famous devotees. I don't know what his name was before he became a devotee of Buddha, but after his conversion, he was called Ahimsaka, which of course the root word ahimsa, to bring no harm or no malcontent. So he was a mass murderer before he met Buddha. He had supposedly killed 999 people, and he was to kill one more people before he reached his skewed version of liberation, and he encountered Buddha. And so once he encountered Buddha, and he was yelling at Buddha because he had this sword. He goes, monk, why aren't you running? And Buddha simply says, well, I stopped running years ago. It is you who are running. And in their conversation, this man Himsaka transformed his life. And so the reason I brought that story up is that each and every one of us, when we encounter the sickness of darkness, the sickness of hate, the sickness of that covering, the veil covers the true light of an individual, we can serve as, in that moment, and I use the word in a very broad way, guru, the remover of darkness. So one statement, one smile, one cup of water could be that moment that transforms a mass murderer or a killer or a hateful person into a friend, into someone who is cut to the heart and then can themselves become a saintly person. We all have this opportunity. We all have this ability. And so that's why, in so many ways, I see that what happened with my family is my opportunity to show that I can transform this great suffering, this great challenge into an act of love. And so if someone looks at me and says, I could never do that, my question to them is, well, what can you do? What can you do? Maybe your spouse, your husband, your wife, maybe upset and they're hurting your feelings. And then what can we do? And of course, being from a yogic approach, we don't do this with the goal of achieving anything. We just do it. So many times in my past, I would have a to-do list. And so I stopped doing to-do list. I have a be list. I am loving. I'm being something. I'm not doing anything. And so that is my somewhat of a summary of the message, is that I ask or encourage people to not change the world, but as Gandhi would say, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Right.
And if you just be,
Absolutely.
we can change happens from being, not doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious if even what Indians or people are seeing on TV from the country here, and it's very alarming in many ways. But when I go to the grocery store, even though there's a mask on, people can see that you're smiling with the eyes, and that's actually a true smile. You can tell an actor is faking a smile if the eyes don't crinkle. So a real smile has to crinkle the eyes, and it lifts the forehead, and a smile even softens the face and has an effect in the biology. So your active of being gurus, millions and millions of gurus could be just smiling, or just handing a cup of water to a homeless person, or when someone's cursing you out, you could just say namaste or namaskar.
Yes.
So a yogi once told me, whenever someone gave him a finger, I'm not going to do the finger, but they would do a single finger that is very insulting in the Western world. And they said, okay, it's okay. You could be number one. I'll be number two. So
Yeah.
there's no hierarchy in spirit and in the body, I would say. I mean, we all have this opportunity. We are all brothers and sisters. And so I guess that's, in summary, a little bit of the story. If there's any questions or thoughts, because at some point, Sadhu's opened up a possibility for us to do a guided meditation, which I would love to share. But before we do anything else, if anyone has questions, thoughts, even if you disagree with me, I enjoy and welcome anyone's opinions. I want to hear your thoughts. Everyone is valid, and I may be wrong too. So we can share.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Shay. Before before I start, let's do a little prayer and remember the gurus in our life. God Himself is the biggest guru, is the teacher, the biggest teacher. Let's do a small prayer for the guru, and then I'll start. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraya, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Guruve Sarva Lokanam, Vishije Bhavaroginam, Nidye Sarva Vidyanam, Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shay, I know that you are my spiritual brother, and I know you are very literate. You have gone through loads of books. You have read Gita, you have read Ashtavakra Gita, you have read a lot of other sacred texts, and you are a very light person. You know, we all carry a lot of load on our body and mind, but when a person starts walking on the spiritual path, he becomes lighter and lighter and lighter day by day. I know you are very light, and as you said about you being right or wrong, what I would say is we all are wrong in this world, but what matters is how less wrong you are. We all do mistakes, but how less mistakes you do in your life, that matters a lot. We cannot stop ourselves, doing things to others, but we can certainly reduce the amount of karmas and be peaceful. And you are a messenger of love and peace. I'm very happy and glad and I'm full of joy to meet you today face to face on this program. And a lot of people are watching you right now. There are a lot of comments coming in. So I'm sorry we won't be able to take it because we are busy right here.
Yes.
And I know a lot about, like, not a lot, but a bit about you. You train people in NASA, and you have a very different lifestyle. You, yeah, people can see you and understand who you are. You are as pure, as white, as light, and as clear as a mirror or a water. So there is nothing to hide, and your mission is also very good. And I'm also with you. We are following the same path. It's just that you are doing in the other hemisphere of the world. I'm doing in the other hemisphere of the world. You are in the Western world. I'm in the Eastern world. But I'm sure that we all can come together and make this one complete whole world, which is full of peace, love, and harmony. And there won't be any fight, there won't be any hatred, and any violence in the world, and of course, no disease. I'm totally against the disease. I don't want to see any sick people in the world. So we are working on it, and I'm sure that people like you are there, and the world is really in the right hands, and we are moving in the right direction, and it will definitely happen one fine day. And we will leave a very good world for our coming generations. And this body in this uh, and this texture, this uh, costume that we have been given, we will definitely do all good things in the world. And we all three people sitting here together, me, my wife, Rupali, and my brother, Shay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy today. I, I'm, no, I'm now I know that I'm not alone.
Yes.
Sometimes you feel that loneliness. Sometimes you feel that you are fighting for the good all alone. But today I can say that I'm not alone. I have my brothers, I have my wife, my child, all together, and we will definitely do a lot of good things and move this world in the right direction. That's all about from my side. And um, you have I don't know what to say. Now, what would you like to do now? Would you like to do a little bit of meditation and or
Yes, I
how?
think that'd be beautiful. And I would love to mention that, and this isn't a sales pitch whatsoever, because I haven't finished the book yet. I've been writing a book for quite some time. And what I've noticed is that in the realm of compassion cultivation, even with the science, there's just a couple that is used in general, and they leave so much out of possibility. So there's so many more ways to cultivate compassion in a meditative state. So the book will be basically multiple ways to cultivate compassion. And to get very specific with that, there'll be free on YouTube. We'll be doing free videos so that even if you don't have money to buy the book, you can practice. Before I do meditate, let me encourage the children outside to be a little more
Oh
quiet,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's affecting me just a little with
Right.
the noise, and they're having fun. But let me one. Yes, sir.
Just before you go, I just wanted to tell you because I have a very short memory. I forget very soon what I'm about to say. Uh, you know what, Jay? Today I was right after my meditation when I woke up. I spoke to my wife and I was just telling her, people are seeking for God.
Yes.
People want to know about God. People want to seek for God. They think God is somewhere else in the, some other realm, some other real world, other world, somewhere far away from here. But what I realized today, what if, what if everybody starts feeling that we all are God? We all. The person staying with me is a God. A person who is talking to me is a God, a human God, a living God. Because I always say that my God is a living God and He lives in
Yes.
all the beings. He lives in
Yes.
all the beings. So just imagine if we start feeling that, the God is right here. The God is talking to me. The God is playing with me. The, the God is working with me in my office. God is coming to my shop to buy all the items, all the products. The God is selling the product to me. He is a shop owner. He's the God himself. Just imagine if we get that kind of feel in the world. Nobody would hurt anyone in the world. Nobody would
Yes.
cheat anyone because you can cheat the human being. You can cheat someone
Hmm.
who is lower than you, but you cannot cheat the God. So when you feel that someone who is giving you the bread and butter, someone who is taking care of you, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your friends, your neighbors, your shopkeepers, your bosses, your colleagues, all the people that you see in the world, they all are nothing but the God Himself. How beautiful the world is going to be. Nobody is going to beat the children because the children are God Himself.
Yes.
Right, so you won't even shout at them because you would be scared that I'm shouting at God. How can I do that? Just imagine if that kind of mindset is developed in today's world where we see everybody as a human God, as a living God, the world is going to be so beautiful, loving, out of all the problems that we have today, isn't it? So that was just my just uh, emotion, my just thought that just came up to me today, and I shared with my wife. I'm happy to share it with you. I don't know how
Yes.
it sounds. It might sound crazy, but um I felt it, so I shared it. So thank you
Yes.
so much for your time. You just waited for me. How are the kids? Are they quiet now?
They're getting quieter. I've noticed they're getting quieter. It's fun.
They heard you.
And it's just joy. They're just having fun. Just they're my friends. Yes.
They
uh,
heard you.
well,
Right.
the idea to me, even though to some people, like you said, they may say that's crazy, but the best ideas are crazy. That's why they're the best. But it's interesting in the Western world, where many people follow the message of Jesus, or in the Hebrew, his name in Hebrew is actually Yeshua, but that got changed to Jesus because of translations. But something that he said mirrors what you were speaking about, and I agree completely. I feel that completely. Even the man who murdered the two people that murdered my family, there's that they're God. We're all, you can't escape God. Thank God that
Right.
we can't escape God.
Right.
But the message that Yeshua had said, two things. He said that whatever you do to the least of my brothers, you do to me. And then another passage, he says that um, in heaven, when people would see him, uh, they would say, "Well, Lord, didn't we do all these things for you?" Because, well, I came to you and I was hungry and you didn't feed me. I came to you and I was thirsty and you didn't give me water. I came to you and I was cold and you didn't give me clothes. And they said, "Well, Lord, when did you come to me?" Because I came to you many times in the form of other beings. And I'm paraphrasing a little, but the same thing. He said, you can't do anything to any being, any person, without it happening to God, without happening to Yeshua. Or if they worship Yeshua, you can't curse your neighbor and say, "I love God," because they're not, you can't have poisoned water and clean water from the same fountain. So I
So did
thank you.
anybody tell you? Did anybody tell you that you look like Jesus Christ?
I get this in America very much so. Yes.
Very familiar. You
Which
appear
I
like.
think helps in some ways, because people, it has an effect. Although I don't intend, I let, I feel natural to let the hair grow and to wear the white and to have the facial hair. But early in life, I had shaven the face and had ties and clean hair, and you walk around with dress shoes and or worker clothes, whatever costume I was wearing that day. So whenever people say, "Well, you look like Jesus," I say, "Thank you. Let us both act like Jesus."
Right.
And then I'd rather have those people act like Jesus. But yes, I think this does help in many
Right.
ways.
That I always tell people, don't just follow Jesus. Don't just follow Rama. Don't just follow Buddha. Be
Yes,
like Buddha. Be like Jesus. Be like Rama. Be like Krishna. Because
yes,
they have shown you the path. They have shown you how to live your life. They have shown you how to behave, how to lead, how to attain the ultimate peace in the world, in your living body. They have shown you the path. Don't just pray. Don't just go and light up candles and incense in
right,
front of them. They don't want all that. They want you to follow the path and live like them, behave like them, talk like them. That's what they want. But the world is, you know, it's okay. Let them follow what
yes,
they want to. I have no problem with that. But it's good. It's good to see you that you are creating a new league. You are creating a new path and inspiring so many people to follow the right path.
yes,
Knowledge is to implement, right? It's not just to read and chant. It's not just to speak the words. It is to imbibe. It is to grave in your soul. It is to follow through the body, mind, and the soul. That is why we have all these holy texts, the sacred texts. They are not just to read and write. They are to
right,
follow in the real world, in the real life. All right. Thank you.
yes,
So let's carry on. So I'm waiting for you to hear.
yes. So I I'm going to go ahead and let's do our short meditation. And there's so many ways to meditate, but this will be specific to cultivating the sense of compassion and unconditional love within our consciousness. So I'm going to just step out and just encourage the beautiful children.
Oh,
They can
yeah.
even join us, so if they want. So let me 1 second, Sadhu. I'll be right back.
Right. Okay.
Hey, girls. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to lead a meditation, so we'll be kind of quiet, and you're welcome to join if you wish. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Love you. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perhaps only in heaven will we have everything perfect. You won't even have to brush your teeth anymore. So, but yet we're in the body. So let's go ahead and, from a comfortable position, with the spine nice and tall, the body relaxed. If you'd like to close the eyes or keep them open, whatever is enjoyable to you. And throughout our meditation, I will be speaking, but I invite everyone to keep a gentle smile on your face. And so the smile will have an effect beyond your culture and beyond your beliefs. So we keep a gentle posture, a gentle smile, and just a look of serenity on the face. And as we sit in a nice tall posture, we're going to deepen the breath, allowing the body to take a nice deep breath in and exhale, and just breathe in a natural, slow fashion, allowing the lungs to completely fill without strain, without effort. And may we devote any benefits of our practice today to uplifting the lives of all beings, remembering that there's no goal to achieve other than being in this moment. So whatever experience you encounter, that experience is completely beautiful. And begin to visualize in your mind the person that is easiest to love, the person that you feel the most unconditional love for. And this, of course, could be your guru, it could be a parent, it could be a child, it could be a puppy, it could be God, or an image of God or goddess, anything that lifts your heart and brings that smile on your face without even being asked. And just for a moment, as you look upon the chosen image in your mind's eye, begin to witness the experience of that love. What does the love feel like? And you're noticing how this feeling starts to warm the heart, and keep that gentle smile. If you're still having any difficulty in coming up with an image, I invite you to visualize holding a little baby, a newborn baby. You don't even know this baby's name. You don't know the name of the parents. This baby is just looking into your eyes intently. The baby looks at you like God, and you look upon this baby as God. And just for a moment, as you breathe and smile and experience this feeling of love, feel that feeling expand within you, completing you like a cup of water being filled and overflowing. Love continuously growing, expanding, warming the heart, softening the mind, allowing the breath to become serene. Relishing and experiencing this sensation of love, we will invite another person into our visualization. And perhaps this next person is someone who maybe brings the mail or delivers bread or drives a taxi or anyone that is what you would call a common person. You don't necessarily know this person. You don't like or dislike this person. And notice if there's a change in the feeling of love now. So bring your attention back to the first being the focus, that baby or God or guru. You may begin to feel there's difference, or maybe there's not a difference of that love. And what we will invite is when you imagine the greatest love in your heart, is it possible to start imagining that love for this neutral person, for this stranger? It may even help to have your most loved person holding the hands of this neutral person. Your most loved person is now hugging this neutral person. Your most loved person is expressing unconditional love for this neutral person. And you too can now express love for this neutral person. And perhaps you are starting to feel love growing in your heart for this neutral person. And you start to see there's less and less and less difference in your magnitude of compassion for both people. If it is possible, we're going to invite one other person in to our circle of love. This person perhaps is someone who in the past, whether they did this on purpose or not, they caused you pain or they disturbed your peace, and they joined the circle. So this challenging person is now within the circle of love. Your chosen object of love, the greatest person that you love, is now hugging and loving this challenging person and inviting you as well to love this challenging person. And I want you to look deeper within the hearts of all three. There is the same person. So if you're visualizing the baby or the guru or the God, see that baby or the guru or the God in the heart of the neutral person. And see the baby or the guru or the God in the heart of this challenging person. Now bring those people together until they become one person. There's only one person now. In fact, you also merge. There's no you or them. There's only I. Allow your heart to continue to open, feeling the unconditional love and compassion for this person. Feel joy that all people are the same. Feel the peace that all people will awaken in heart and mind and body. And just for a few moments, I will cease speaking, invite you to keep the eyes closed, keep the spine tall, keep the breath serene and the smile on the face. And in this next few moments of silence, as I allow ourselves to visualize the process in your own way without verbal distraction, I'll give 30 seconds to 60 seconds for you to silently go through the process of loving these people until they are all one being. Begin to bring the awareness back into this present moment, opening the eyes when you are ready. So this practice, this happens each time, each and every time, and that's beautiful. So I did use much words for the practice. Ideally, you would memorize the practice and do it in your own way. And that's where we transcend the teacher's words and we fulfill the teacher's intention. So thank you, everyone. I truly, sincerely, and honestly felt so many hearts opening, reaching out. My body's buzzing right now. I'm humbled by the group here in Sadhu. The love is palpable. I'm even perspiring and crying right now. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Shay. And you are really radiating love all around in the atmosphere. I can see that. I can feel it. That your body is spreading the love vibrations and the energy. And I sincerely would like you to teach this compassion to a lot of people, create a lot of, the trainers and the teachers who can spread this message and this energy and this power into the whole world. And you are my spiritual brother from the US. Whenever you come to India, this is your house. Feel free to be here. Give us the honor to be our guest. This is your family. This is your home. So, and keep coming and keep teaching the world. Yeah. And I hope that we can have this kind of program quite often and let people understand. I'm sure, and I know that there are millions of people here who want this kind of peace of mind and a peace of heart, but they are not finding the right person who can guide them to the right direction. I really want you to come over to this program and let many people be blessed with your power of meditation and the power of your words. And you can really transform a lot of lives in this place, in this hemisphere of the world, in India especially. So God bless you, my brother. All my love and to you. And we'll keep on doing this kind of good work. This is what we are here for.
Yes.
We have nothing else to carry or to earn in our lives. We are on a different path altogether. My dear, do you have any questions for Shay?
No questions. It was a great session and very feeling happy and blessed to meet a person like you. And the way you spoke about yourself and the struggles and the consequences of the situations you have come across. It's not easy to forgive anybody. It's not at all easy. But I really appreciate that, you are ready to forgive the people who did the worst of the worst harm they could possibly, so I'm very, very happy and glad to meet you. Thank you for joining us, and let's be in touch. Keep coming.
Yes.
And lot of people are waiting to have a good person who can guide them about this compassion. Compassion is very, very important. If you don't have compassion, the feeling of compassion, then I don't think that person is actually a human being.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's what I feel. If you don't have that, in Hindi, we call this compassion as karuna. If you don't have karuna, compassion in your heart, then I don't think you are living. You are not a living being. You are not a human being at all. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all your thoughts, and wonderful meeting you. Thank you so much. Namaste. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Namaste. I'm coming to India.
Please, most welcome.
Sure.
Most welcome.
And
Come over.
continue doing these kind of programs. Keep coming. May God bless you. May the divine take care of you, surround you.
Yes.
You are really required for another many years for this world.
Yes.
May the divine keep you safe and sound. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Bye-bye.
God bless you.
I'm going to finish this Facebook Live now.